block in this one. We're going to go over it really good. We're not going to practice it a lot in this one, but we're just going to go over the meat and potatoes of what it is, how it works, so you can better understand how to do it properly. So from here, we're going to step into a right front stance. So on this one, much like our outward block, our blocking surface is the outside of our forearm here. So when we do this block, we're going to shift again. It has different purposes for different blocks, but for instance, on the lower block, normally in your front stance, your knee, the front part of your knee is facing your attacker. So when we do that shift, our knee turns in. So the front of the knee goes from facing your attacker to facing over here, and the side of your knee is facing the attacker. The reason why that's significant is because if you get kicked hard in the leg, out at or around the knee, fully front, even a weak kick is going to do some major damage to your knee because they're not made to go backwards. So when I shift here and my knee turns in, now they have a different orientation to this knee. If I get kicked in the side of the leg here, don't get me wrong, it will hurt, it can do damage, but from this angle, it allows my leg to collapse and absorb some of that kicking impact. So the damage is going to be very minimum compared to a kick to the full frontal knee area. So that's the first part. We're going to shift here. While we're shifting, our shoulder is coming up. I need to sing that kid's song, head, shoulder, knees, and toes. Our shoulder is coming up. It's just like in our other blocks, it's protecting the jawline here. So it comes up, covering the jaw, and then from here, it goes down in a round motion. It says it's coming up. It's just part of this. So as the shoulder comes up, we get ready, it comes down. The arm is bent at the elbow. We intersect the technique. We follow through, pushing it away from our body. And we let that centrifugal force bring our hand back up to guard position. So from here, boom, and back. Boom, and back. One thing to keep in mind when you do this one, you don't want to be blocking here. If I'm blocking right here, I've already got kicked. I don't need to waste any energy. My leg's already hurting. We want to be blocking out here. The further away you can catch a technique before it hits you, the higher your rate of success is for not getting hit. So again, don't block right here in front of your body. Block out here in front of your body. And this is true for pretty much all of the blocks that we're learning right now. All the way around, big fluid movement, and then return to guard position here. Now you'll notice we keep a good posture while we're doing our lower block. So that means your block can't really reach all the way to and below your knee. And that's okay. First off, the chances of somebody kicking you below your knee and as in a situation is pretty slim. Secondly, if they do kick below the knee, your chances of drastic injury are pretty slim as well. Yes, it's going to hurt, but the chances of it, breaking pretty slim. If you've ever looked into MMA fighting at all, over the entire history of those guys beating each other half to death, there's been 2, for instances that I'm aware of where somebody got kicked in the lower leg and the leg broke. 2. That's out of, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of fights that they've held. Only 2 times has a leg broke. So that shows us the likelihood of that happening if we were to get kicked there, very, very slim. But we don't need to get kicked there anyway, because all we need to do is move our leg out of the way. So if somebody is kicking to that lower part of your leg, just simply move it out of the way. That is the best way to avoid a kick below the knee area. So anything above the knee, we're going to block. Anything below the knee, we're just going to move that knee or that leg out of the way. You can do that in a number of ways. You can actually pick it up. You can move it over here to the side. You can actually pivot all the way around with your other leg and switch your stance. So lots of different ways that you can move your leg in a productive manner. But that is our lower block. So practice it. If you have any questions, let us know. And keep getting awesome, you guys. Oh, one more thing I wanted to touch on before we finish up with this block. It's really hard to tell what will happen to that person that's kicking you while you're doing this block. Everybody knows, oh, I'm catching the leg and I'm pushing it away. Yay, I didn't get kicked. That is true, but the body posture of that person kicking you does something very specific when you do this block properly. So if you can imagine the kick is coming towards me, I'm intercepting it here, and then I'm deflecting it away. Now as I'm deflecting it, that person is standing on one foot with this one extended. So when I deflect it, it's going to turn them, when we do it correctly anyway. So when I do this here, boom, I'm going to spin them. That leg that they're kicking me with is going to go over here. I'm going to be looking at the back of their head. They're going to be looking the wrong direction. And we practice this in class all the time. It really does work exactly like that when performed correctly. So the lower block actually leaves you in a really good position for a counterattack, and it leaves your attacker in a really poor position to protect themselves after they botch up that attempted kick on you. All right, now, for real, that's all. That's our lower block. Kunye. Hillside.